I'm not going to lie, me and Adam are feeling a little bit fuzzy right now, and I think Adam's experience going to London yesterday, it was really kind of like the cherry on the cake. I found out that I might not be able to go to the showing of Queer, the film festival, and then Adam has had a right old experience. Go on, Adam, tell him what's been happening with you.
Yeah, okay, so at time of recording, the night before, I went up to London just for a little sort of 5-6 hour window. Kindly got given tickets, just one ticket, to see The Apprentice, which is the new Studio Canal sort of distributed film biopic all about Donald Trump, with Sebastian Stan in the lead role and Jeremy Strong playing Roy Cohen, his lawyer and mentor in his early business days. And I was very excited. Got the train, was due in at 4:45 on South Western Rail. What could go wrong? Well, there were, of course,
South Western Rail is the first thing there that makes you go, everything's going to go wrong.
You're right. I was naive to think that I'd get there in one piece. But there were trespassers on the railway, and the train had to pull up for a while, and we were stationary, just not moving for a good 35-40 minutes. Finally rocked up to Waterloo Station at 5:30, which was the cut-off point for me collecting the ticket. I then, sort of in a panic, ran out of Waterloo Station. I was like, just let me get to the BFI and at least risk it. At this point, I was phoning you, Alfie, on the verge of tears. Realised I'd gone the wrong way around the station, so it actually added on another 5 minutes to my walk there. Finally got there, and she was just like, what's your name? Adam Barlow. Yep, here's your ticket. Great. Run round. I'm like, which is the quickest way to the festival hall? She's like, out there, right, straightforward. I'm like, cool. Bless him. The security were just like, yeah, go on in, mate. And I didn't even get to appreciate the fact that on the way to the festival hall to get to your seats, you walked along the red carpet. So I was like, oh, this is a perfect photo opportunity. This is really cool. But instead, where I'd emptied my pockets for security, I was holding a notepad, I was holding 2 LFF booklets, I had a packet of tissues, my wallet, my phone, all just mangled in my hands. It was slightly spitting as well, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I just remember looking around at the journos and the press that was still on the red carpet, and they were watching me walk down, and I couldn't have looked less cool. So moral of the story is always get to a place about 3 hours before you need to be there. But thankfully I managed to sit down just on time, about 10 minutes before the lights went dim.
And then to top it off, he had someone scam out of £8. So
oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, almost forgot about that.
Hello and welcome to episode 36 of Movie On Up with your hosts, me, Alfie Walker.
And me, Adam Barlow.
Here we are, we're ready and raring to go. It's the big week, the big week of the BFILFF.
Yeah, there you
go. All these stupid acronyms. We're ready to go. Adam has seen a film, like he just said in the cold open. He managed to get into London and see The Apprentice, which we're both I'm excited to hear about. And then he also caught, what was the other one you caught? The other Sebastian Stan film?
A Different Man. Yeah,
so
these two films fit really well together. Strangely well together. They've both got a bit of body horror in them. And yeah, both obviously starring Sebastian Stan with kind of similar music. And I don't know, I walked away feeling similarly about them as well. So
interesting. Okay, that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Adam's going to review both of those for us this week. But I think to start, we're just going to have a little catch up. I think we're going to talk about Agatha All Along. We're going to talk about what films we've seen on TV and stuff. Just a brief little catch up, basically. So go on, Adam. What are you thinking about Agatha All Along for a start? Let's talk about that for a moment.
Absolutely. So the last episode, I think, ended on quite a big cliffhanger, but it confirms a character's identity that was, I mean, pretty much blatantly obvious, even for the first trailer. Yeah, I mean, spoilers, but Wiccan is officially played by Joe Locke. And yeah, I really enjoyed the episode. I think I preferred the episode before where they do the singing cover of Down, Down, Down the Road. That's a banger. Song of the summer. But yeah, I'm overall rather impressed with this show. I think it's got some goofy moments, and I think some of the makeup and the effects are showing their worth.
Yeah, it's cheesy, isn't it? It's got that real cheesiness to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is charming. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty much on the same vein. I think I'm enjoying it surprisingly quite a lot. It doesn't feel like a Marvel show at all to me. Like it's very different. I mean, it's quite like WandaVision, I guess, but it's not like anything else. So I think that's maybe why I'm enjoying it. There's no superheroes involved, are there? Really? Like so far, other than Joe Locke's big reveal at the end of the last episode. But I think we've still got 4 episodes to go. The final episode is a double bill, I believe, as well. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I did like it, and I like the campiness and the fun. Like when they were flying on the brooms and they went over the moon. Like that was such a cool kind of shot that I never thought I'd see in an MCU project. Like, yeah, we're talking about witches. It's cool.
Yeah, totally. I agree. That yeah, it's a fun little moment. I have just thought that probably my only flaw with it is, I mean, apart from the effects, but I think that does play into, like, they were kind of aiming for that, I think. I noticed, particularly in the last couple of episodes, that the dialogue is so quippy, and everyone, I think we said in our reaction to the first 2 episodes, that everyone is quite bitchy with each other, and I get that's the sort of vibe they're going for, but I think if you rewatch, particularly, what episode are we on now? Episode 5?
Yeah, we'll be on episode 5, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. If you rewatch the last couple of episodes, it really is someone saying something, then someone immediately cutting them down, and then someone else cutting them down, and it's just like everyone's constantly sort of verbally hitting each other, and it is fun. It's kind of like watching jousting, I guess, verbal jousting, but it's a little bit tiring because I don't know how much depth there is. But then with the reveal in the last episode, I do think that's where we're heading towards. So maybe it is just a case of wait and find out.
I'm excited for it. What is our next MCU project that we've got coming after this? Is it Captain
question.
America? Is that the next one coming, or Thunderbolts?
I think it's Captain America in February.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. This little roster we've got going on right now, I'm quite excited. I will say I think Harrison Ford's what I'm looking forward to most in that film, but he's really bigging up the MCU. I don't know if you've seen his interviews, but he's been really singing praises and being like, yeah, I'm here on the weekends, I rock up, I have a really good laugh with them all. Like, he's really singing the MCU's praises at the moment. So
yeah, he is. I'm glad he's taken to it with such good energy and such good attitude, I think, because, you know, he's famously very grouchy. He hates Star Wars, but it's nice to see him passionate and, you know, just having fun. That's what it's all about. And he's an older guy now, so if he's not having fun in his twilight years, then...
have you been watching anything else, Adam? Have you watched any TV, any films other than the 2 we're going to speak about today?
Oh yes, I saw Gladiator Monday night. I've just now remembered. Saw it
on
in
the big screen.
Yeah, really great experience. I've seen it a couple of times before. I was quite new to it, I suppose. I watched it for the first time in lockdown and fell in love with it. It's really what introduced me. Well, sorry, after Joker in 2019, what properly got me to be a fan of Joaquin Phoenix. I think his villain role in that, I actually forgot how evil he is and how twisted he is in that film. But I just think it's one of those films that's perfectly paced, perfectly acted. I think particularly the dynamic between the Emperor and, you know, Maximus Meridius Despot, or whatever his name is. I think their dynamic is really good. You have an excellent, relatable hero that's just, you know, means well and has been kicked to the curb and really betrayed by everyone he knows. And then you've got a villain that is truly despicable, but really charismatic at the same time. So it sort of forces you to be like, hang on a minute, I'm smiling and laughing at this guy, but almost laughing with him, but also he's definitely evil. So it's a weird dynamic to watch.
One of those classics, isn't it? And we both would say that we are pumped for Gladiator 2 coming out very soon. I'm worried about it, I won't lie.
Yeah.
I'm scared it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
After the Napoleon disappointment. But because the Napoleon trailers also made that film look like it was going to be great. And I imagine if you go back and listen to our review of Napoleon, we're probably quite nice about it. But maybe I think that's the recency bias kind of thing. I think like if I was to rewatch it now and rank it, I imagine it'd be lower. But I have a lot of faith in Paul Mescal, in Pedro Pascal, in Denzel Washington's in it.
Yeah.
And
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn, that's it. Yeah. I've got faith in them. I think it's gonna be killer.
You know what our reaction to Gladiator 2 reminds me of is our thoughts before Joker Folie Dieu. We're saying the exact same 100%. Things.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
I mean, that could be good for us though, because we both quite enjoyed Folie Dieu. So
I can't mentally take it though. If we see Gladiator 2, we're like, it's better than the first, and everyone else is like, this is crap. I can't do it.
People are going to be messaging you again, saying "put simply" and stuff like that.
Yeah. Don't.
People are going to be slagging Adam off in his DMs like they did with Joker. My God. I went to the cinema last night and caught Transformers 1. I went with Lenny. Lenny loved it, if I'm honest, and I enjoyed it too. I think the final act makes up a lot of that. I do think the final sort of 45 minutes was killer. And I was a bit worried as the film was going on, like, is the whole film going to be about them trying to find this thing? Is it going to be a little bit boring? But no, the moment they got their cogs or whatever and turned into Transformers, I thought it was excellent, actually. Really excited. And I'm hoping it gets a sequel. It seems to have been doing all right. I think it's a bit of a slow burn. People, I don't think, showed up in opening weekend, but through word of mouth and that, I think people have been showing up. But no, 100%, it was a fun film.
I'm glad you liked it. It's a strange franchise, I think. I mean, it's definitely because I'm not into it. You know, I've not seen the other films, but just I think conceptually, it's a really odd thing to be this popular and for people to be so protective over it. It's odd to me.
Yeah, it is a bit, and it's. Me and Lenny were walking out the screening laughing at how lory and stupid the names are of places, and Decepticon and Megatron and Optimus Prime and like all these really over the top names for like what was the fuel cord that they were after. It's just so much.
It does feel surprisingly a bit like, okay, mate, calm down. It's like someone grabbed you in the street and was shaking you.
Yeah. I mean, people say that like the opening of Fellowship of the Ring, where they do that 10-minute prologue about the history of the rings, is like the perfect 10 minutes of how to introduce it. But it's so full on, and that's exactly what this felt like. It was just like, at the dawn of time, and it was like, oh my God, we're going back that far. Jesus.
Yeah. You know what it feels like? It's like Eternals. It has that vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you, I'd rather watch Transformers 1 again than watch Eternals again.
Absolutely. God, perish the thought. Before humans were conceived, there were the Eternals. 11 characters that you need to know. What?
11? Barry Keoghan was one of them. Angelina Jolie was another.
Eh?
Salma Hayek was the king of them. Like, the rest, background characters from other films.
The guy that could be Sebastian Stan's brother, but isn't. I think he was a bodyguard.
That funny man who's in all the stuff.
Is that Benedict Wong? Oh, no, wait.
And an 11-year-old.
Who's got a ginger wig? I don't know. So, the first of two Sebastian Stan films we're going to be discussing this week is called A Different Man. It's a thriller drama directed by Aaron Schimberg. Came out a couple of weeks ago now. and I managed to catch it on a sunny Thursday afternoon, which is, well, 1 in a million in this time of year in the UK. But it stars Sebastian Stan, as I've said. He plays a man called Edward. It also has Adam Pearson in, who plays a guy called Oswald. And if you don't know Adam Pearson, I think he's done some documentaries. He might have been in a sitcom, I think, for the BBC or something. I really do recognise him. I've definitely seen him on the news and again in some sitcom clips and things like that. He's a very, very funny actor and very talented, very charismatic. But he's got this disease that I should have looked up the name of the disease, to be honest, but I don't want to muck up the pronunciation. Hang on. As predicted, it's got a Latin name. Okay, bear with me. It's neurofibromatosis. Okay, so it basically is a skin disease where it sort of disfigures, I guess, the face. And Adam Pearson is an actor who has this in real life. But Sebastian Stan at the start of the film is playing a character that also has this condition, but is very early on given this miracle drug that is being tested, and it just so happens to completely heal him. Like, even cuts on his hands are gone. He's got flawless skin and he looks like Sebastian Stan. So the film kind of goes on from there. But before he gets this treatment, he meets a new neighbour called Ingrid, who is a wannabe screenwriter, and they kind of sort of low-key hit it off. There's not sexual chemistry there at that point, but they definitely have this romantic or kind of interest in each other. Edward's this very shy, self-conscious man, hence why he goes for this treatment in hopes of kind of curing himself, quote unquote, and trying to impress his neighbour. But when this miracle drug does work so incredibly well, he is unrecognisable. He changes his name, and there's a time jump. And a little while down the line, you meet up again with Ingrid, who is doing a casting call for the lead in this play called Edward, and it's based on Sebastian Stan's character. So they're casting. He goes in. He's an actor or wannabe actor. He gives it a go and brings in this prosthetic print that the doctors gave him before his treatment. So he looks identical to Edward's, and she's like, "Hang on a minute, this is really uncanny, but you act well, so we'll cast you." And then, yeah, production goes fairly okay. And then Adam Pearson's character Oswald walks in halfway through, sort of while they've already casted Sebastian Stan's character, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I saw you casting for this play. I'm really interested, but if you've already got an actor, don't worry, I'll walk out." And then there's this moment in the film where everything goes quiet, and they're all just sort of aghast looking as he walks out the door, and they're like, "Hang on a minute, he would be perfect for this role." That's exactly, it's this funny kind of moment where both the audience watching the film and the characters in the film have this realization that, oh wait, that's so strange, right? So that's kind of where most of the comedy comes from, is Oswald basically having this disease that Edward had, and yet being incredibly talented, incredibly charismatic and energetic. He can juggle, he can sing, he can dance, he can act, he could do everything. Whereas Edward, before the drug trial, was just a shell of a man and hiding in his house, and he'd get bullied on the subway and stuff, and people would look at him and stop and wave and bang on windows if he was in a cafe. Yeah. He was just having a really miserable time. And that's kind of the main crux of the film. I won't go into it too much more than that, but it takes quite a comedic but dark turn, and it, basically the difference that Edward has pre to post operation is not at all the difference he was expecting, hence the very on-the-nose title. I mean, firstly, I think Adam Pearson makes this film come alive. He only shows up about maybe halfway through. I thought he was going to be in it more, but he really does show up, and it snaps into focus, and I'm like, okay, brilliant, loving this. He's very, very funny. Sebastian Stan putting a huge amount of effort into this role. I think he does a great job. He's very commendable here, wearing a lot of prosthetic at the start of the film, and then the body horror that I mentioned in the cold open, that's kind of when his face is falling off in clumps and he's sort of crying and cradling himself, and it is shot a bit a bit like a melodrama, I would say. There's a lot of over the top zooms and sound effects. I mean, when his face does fall off, there's a thunderstorm outside and the lightning crashes as his face falls apart. I'm like,
right,
it's kind of,
it's proper like Elephant Man style, like like
exactly,
really amping up the right. I see,
yeah, and it has fun with its premise. That being said, I think the film is a little bit muddled. It's kind of trying to say a few different things at the same time, and I don't know how much focus it has and how clear it is at the end. There's a great one-liner at the very end of the film, like last 10 seconds, from Oswald to Edwards, and I'm like, okay, that's fun, but it's kind of nothing I couldn't have told you when I saw the premise in the trailer. So it almost feels like a short film that's been dragged out to be best part of 2 hours. I think the cast all do a great job, as I've said, and the music also very fitting. It's done by A24, so it's got that art house feel. It feels small and uncomfortable and kind of a very compact, streamlined film. But as I've said, at the same time, the ideas are a little bit unruly. But it is self-aware, so I can't knock it too much. The whole point of having this play at the center stage of the film, so to speak, is it questions, should you cast someone in roles that doesn't have the disability or the setback that the character has, which is ironic because they've cast Sebastian Stan at the start of this film and put loads of prosthetic on him. So it's kind of like, okay, is it a commentary on casting? Is it a commentary on on these miracle treatments that are trying to cure things that maybe don't need to be cured? And it kind of, because the film isn't massively clear in what it's trying to say, I didn't think so anyway, it does feel a little bit murky. But I would give it, I gave it like 3.5 stars, I think, on Letterboxd, and I kind of think that's an appropriate ballpark for it. I liked it. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as smart, I don't think, as I thought it was going to be. But Adam Pearson and Sebastian Stan are definitely the standouts in it, and they really do bring it together as a sort of double act. And as the poster suggests, they're both sort of sat there staring at each other. I think that is a good enough core of the film to sort of keep you engaged.
To carry it, yeah, I see, yeah. Interesting though, it seems like maybe, obviously like I said, I haven't seen it, but it seems like maybe it could have done with picking its genre and sticking to it, maybe, either just going with the funny or going with the message it's trying to push, or going with the fact that it's a bit of a thrillery. Like, it could have done with maybe just choosing one, where instead it feels like it's a bit of a melting pot, and it means that it's missed the mark a little bit. But like you said, you still gave it 3 stars, so like you said, clearly it's got elements there, like you said, the 2 actors, which are going to keep you engaged in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd recommend it, but I think unfortunately it's probably going to be a film I might not remember at the end of the year, especially in comparison to the other Sebastian Stan film that I'm going to review now.
What a segue, my guy.
Cool.
It's like you've been doing this for nearly a year.
Maybe.
This is the one that I'm interested in significantly, because there is a lot of chat going on about this one. And it's quite a good point, and I want to bring it up, is that a lot of people are saying, like, who is this movie for? Because if you're a fan of Donald Trump, this film's not for you. If you hate Donald Trump, why are you going to go spend 2 hours watching the digital version of him on a big screen when you are living in the real world and he's really here and might win the next election?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a sticky one, because I think I don't think it's going to get the box office numbers they think, because people are kind of sick of the man, and it's also slags him off a lot, doesn't it? So, but anyway, that's me rambling. But yeah, I'm excited to hear about this. Adam is going to talk about The Apprentice. that he caught at the London Film Festival.
Absolutely. Firstly, I just want to say again, thank you to Studio Canal. I was given this experience for free, just to preface the review, I suppose. But The Apprentice, as I've said, stars Sebastian Stan. Take a shot every time I say his name in this podcast and you will be on the floor. He plays Donald Trump, and I remember us commenting a number of months ago now when we first saw the image of him in the back of that car, and we were like, my God, hats off to the makeup department because they've made him look crap. And what really surprised me about this film is how quickly he disappears into the role. I think he's fantastic. Definitely has one of the more interesting careers outside of the MCU for any of the actors. I think maybe on par with maybe Scarlett Johansson and who else has done well from the MCU? I'm trying to think.
I mean, to be honest, Chris Hemsworth is doing really good now. He obviously had Furiosa, and then he's doing really well now. I don't think Chris Evans is particularly, other than Knives Out, which was he still in the MCU at that point? I think what especially with this red one coming out.
Yeah, he did The Grey Man and Ghosted, didn't he? Yeah, there's a few sort of spy thrillers that haven't quite worked. Yeah, so I'm kind of confident in saying that. I think apart from Robert Downey Jr., I guess because he did just win the Oscar, but yeah, Sebastian Stan, if he keeps this up, he might be in the running in a few years' time. I think it's a really difficult film to watch because, as you say, it's kind of going to annoy everyone that sees it. That's totally the point. I think at the start of the film, when the cast and crew came out, Ali Abbasi, the director, said movies shouldn't be propaganda. It's not really meant to tell you exactly what to think, which I guess you could apply for A Different Man that I just reviewed. But he made the point of saying if he had a one-liner or a definitive opinion, he could have just tweeted it out and sort of said it in a neat package, blatantly clear, and be like, right, this is what I think, this is what you should think. But instead, he's like, actually, we put aside time, effort, money to make this film, and I challenge you to watch it and then inform your own opinions. So with that in mind, I went in with very high hopes for this film, actually. I kind of... It's a weird thing to say, but I do have a weird fascination with Donald Trump. I'm just like, I think he's very funny. Like,
absolutely, he's hilarious. Yeah.
In the same way that Boris Johnson and other wildly overconfident people are. You're kind of just watching them like, you've got no self-awareness. It's incredible. Yeah. So with all that being said, The Apprentice, it follows a young Donald Trump in I think the 1970s, that kind of time, as he meets a new lawyer. I think he's this lawyer that he bumps into in this shady bar, kind of members only, very rich, very influential people there. He's called Roy Cohn, played by Jeremy Strong, who I think is in Succession.
Yeah, which I'll talk about later, but this film is definitely cashing in on that. But yeah.
Yeah, so for the most part, it's a businessy thriller. I mean, yeah, in kind of a total reflection of A Different Man. It's funnier than I thought it was going to be. So it's a weird, weird dynamic there. But properly, people were laughing at it, and I think the way that Sebastian Stan presents Donald Trump is not in any way like an SNL sketch. It's not necessarily done for laughs. And it's not overblown. Like, I think you can find better impressions of Donald Trump if that's what you want to see. But this is the makeup, the inflections. Every now and then he'll say a word that's like, that is spot on Donald Trump. And that would get a laugh. So it's amazing how easily the film gets laughs just by these little details that are sprinkled throughout. I mean, there's a few moments where they recreate interviews on TV or photos. I thought particularly the last shot of the film, which I won't spoil, but I'm sure it's an image that might be on a book. I've kind of maybe just spoiled it, but the way they end it is like, it's almost as though they've replaced Sebastian Stan with Donald Trump, but I think the makeup and hairstyling is just that good. So yeah, totally a fascinating film to watch, really repulsive at times. I mentioned there's a bit of body horror when he gets a scalp reduction and he gets some fat sawn off of him. It's actually horrid. It's like very bloody. It's soundtracked as well by a choir singing at a funeral, so it gives it this sort of gothic vibe to it. And you're like, oh my god, look at Donald Trump being formed like Frankenstein. It really does have that energy. But I knew I would enjoy the film from the second it sort of hit the ground. I'd say for sort of 5 minutes in, it's got some brilliant needle drops, great cinematography as well, that's got to be said. It kind of evolves as the economic status of the United States of America evolves. So when you meet it, it's kind of, in a really bad place. New York is looking run down as anything. There's derelict blocks, homelessness is on the rise, there's rats running around, and no one's really got any faith in the city. And then you cut to the end of the film when he's built Trump Tower and he's doing the Apprentice, and he's a more recognisable figure as the one that we see today. The quality of the film grain gets better. I think the aspect ratio changes. I actually wasn't paying too much attention. It might change. I'm not too sure on that, so don't quote me. But they definitely, it's a noticeable but subtle difference. It's really delicately done. So I think in the way that it's produced, it's great. Jeremy Strong is doing a fantastic job. I don't know much about Roy Cohn at all. I've not even seen a photo of him, so I can't even say how alike they look. But he's playing a very one-note performance, which I think is sort of the point. But he's very glum and very conniving and mechanical in the way that he speaks and interacts with people. He's got no shame, no empathy really. But then there is a subtle transition to him being more burnt out and shocked and muted in the shadow of Donald Trump as he eclipses him later in the film, and as he sort of steals his business rules and steals all the knowledge and dark, amoral, illegal activity and tips. He's like, right, I'm just going to take all this knowledge and use it for my own gain. So I think in that respect, it taught me some stuff about Donald Trump that I'm like, oh my god, he's worse than I thought, which is quite impressive in itself. But yeah, I think it's a film that will definitely spark conversation, and as you say, it won't really please anybody, I suppose. But then it's not really meant to, is it? I guess. What I would say is it's absolutely worth watching. The fact that Donald Trump and some of his publicists, maybe some of Donald Trump's officials from the White House or from his office or whatever, have tried to very actively to ban this film from even being released. It's sort of implicit that there's stuff in here that he doesn't want people to know about. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whether it being completely made up or definitely real, and he just doesn't want it to get out. The way that they're addressing it does that whole like guilty by deduction kind of thing, where like you're not ignoring it, you're saying please don't post this, please don't release this, so clearly you're hiding it because it's touching a nerve kind of thing. Exactly, yeah. And I think it's, in a roundabout way, as I've said, I do have this weird fascination. Like I really enjoyed watching Sebastian Stan's portrayal of this businessman, and future president and could be president again. It's kind of just wild that this meek but ambitious man managed to climb the ranks very quickly and very successfully. Objectively, he did it very successfully. But he just, this film shows that he's completely undeserving of it and out of his depth, and he's just lied from day one and has abused power at any given opportunity, really. So it's definitely unfavourable of him, which I think you could probably predict. But I thought it was a very tight film. It's 2 hours long, but it didn't drag at all. Just every part of it felt purposeful, and if it wasn't a funny scene, it was a dark scene. If it wasn't a dark scene, it was just a genuinely interesting conversation between two people that probably isn't in public knowledge. So yeah, I personally was properly impressed with it. I believe it comes out on Friday the 18th. So definitely go and check it out. It's I didn't get to see it much more early than than the general public, but I really think it's worth seeking out. It's a film that's going to stick with me, I think, to the end of the year. And if I'm to kind of compare it to other films I've seen recently, for me, this kind of takes the place that Air or Blackberry took last year. Those kind of business focused, analytical, quote unquote smart people talking about things.
Yeah.
I really love those types of films where it is people that are involved in this whole different side of life that I will never be a part of. It's just really fascinating to me. I had a really good time. It's one of those films where you can go along with some mates, properly laugh, but also be totally disgusted and baffled by the fact that this is real. And yeah,
I'm glad to hear that. From the trailers, it's definitely cashing in on the Succession train, which you haven't seen, have you? But you're obviously aware of it, and I presume this probably went into production around the end of Succession, which makes sense. But like the way that it's shot, I can see from the trailers, and having Jeremy Strong, who plays Kendall Roy in Succession, all of that kind of thing. And it's obviously very business tycoon focused, and the music, everything about it seems like it's totally trying to sort of cash in on that Succession. Which, in a similar vein, I didn't know Succession was a comedy when I started watching that, and I was so shocked when I was an episode in and it was funny which kind of seems like maybe what this would be like for me, because I didn't realise it would be so funny. But this is definitely one that I'm going to pick up, because I'm quite excited to see this.
I will say, I don't know if I describe it as a comedy outright, but it does a very effective job of, by the last 20 minutes, you're really watching it and you're like, oh my god, it happens so gradually almost, but he morphs into Donald Trump, like to the iconography that we know.
Yeah, and
it is scary in a weird way. You're just watching it like, what, why, and it leaves you with questions just like, how did this happen? Should this have happened? Was this inevitable? I think it's a very, very good film. Very, very solid and worth your time.
Remember this segment? I don't. We're checking in at A-list star and impressions repertoire, the segment that everybody loves, and it just keeps giving.
Yeah. Whenever we return to this, it's like opening another box from your advent calendar in the run-up to Christmas. What Christmas is in the context of this metaphor and this game, I don't know. Maybe it's when they all come on as guests. Who knows?
Or it's when we stop recording this podcast for good.
Christmas Day, yay!
Yay! They're not releasing any more trash.
Get the whole family round, have a meal, just celebrate being together and moving up, being off the air. Let's add some people to the A-list star in our impressions repertoire, shall we?
Why don't you remind us of our current list, Adam? Just for those viewers who don't keep up with the current list.
Yeah, maybe you're a new listener, in which case, welcome. This is the A-list star in our impressions repertoire. It's hard to explain what it is, but Alfie, do you want to just set it up, what this is?
Yeah, so this is... I don't really know what it is. This is our list of actors, of characters, of people in the world, or puppets and fake characters in some situations that we either love, hate, just want to sort of remember in our passing podcast journey. So we've got a nice list, and I believe at the top is someone who we haven't done an impression of in a while, right? Is Richard E. Grant at the top?
Well, above that we have got Jeff Goldblum, and we've got me and you in heaven.
Of course, the podcast gods.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, that'd
yes,
be
yes,
yes. Yeah. But then we have got Richard E. Grant. 2 years ago today we met him at the time of recording.
Yes. right?
nice.
We stayed. We were clever there because we stayed at the back of the line, so that we got to like spend a little bit longer saying hi to him and didn't feel rushed off by the people behind us.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't mean to do that really, but it worked in our favour. Absolutely. What was it you said to us? He was like, "Oh, you're young, aren't you? You got springy legs."
Yeah, literally, he's like, "Oh, well, how old are you? 22? Oh, God, you're the youngest one in this audience."
I remember being that old in Swaziland. Bless him. So yeah, we got Richard E. Grant at the top. Then we got Michael Caine, but played by Peter Serafinovich,
who we've also met.
Yeah. Then we have Michael
I don't
Caine.
want to say there's a bias here, but
yeah. Actually, mate, it really does look like there is some bias. We haven't met Michael Caine, but he's following there. Michael Caine putting out some questionable tweets recently.
Yeah, he had an interview and he said that he voted for Brexit.
Yeah,
which is a revelation. That's why he's not here this week, guys. That's why he's not come in this week, because he's dealing with too much bad press for announcing that he supports Brexit. So we thought we'd give him a week off and see if he changes his opinion, hopefully.
Yeah, jury's out on that one. Then we got Lego Pharrell Williams, who again we are going to meet. So,
God, this list is looking very suspicious.
To meet. Then we have Mark Hamill. Then we've got Brian Butterfield, naturally. Paul Rudd, Christopher Nolan. He's there. You know, when he actually directed this list, he thought, well, what we could do is tell this backwards and inside out, just to really challenge the audience and give them a new narrative perspective, an unreliable narrator and a non-linear storyteller. Yeah, all right, Chris. Give it a rest.
Sure thing, Chris.
You choose, mate. Then we've got Emily Stone, aka Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
And we've got Timothy Chalamet, in brackets, a good boy.
I can't remember the context for that, believe me.
No, I'm not sure about that. Then we've got Robert Downey Jr. and James A. Caster on the same level because... I don't know. Then we got Austin Butler, in brackets, big time sexy.
Yes, Austin Butler as his character from Dune, though. Very important.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, when he's bold and he's got black teeth. Then we have Ayo Edebiri, Queen, Peter Serafinovich. Oh yeah, then we've got the Madeley, Richard Madeley. I forgot we had his name.
Richard Madeley. I forgot Richard Madeley was on there, yeah.
Then Christopher Walken, Dakota Johnson. And then in the bin, we have Jonathan Ross, Slimer, Oscar the Grouch, and Jar Jar Binks.
Wonderful. Who are we going to add to A-list star in our impression repertoire today? I think it's only right, that we add Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump.
Oh, as Donald Trump. Okay.
Yeah, as Donald Trump.
Oh, this is a difficult one because really Donald Trump should be in the bin, right? But then Sebastian Stan should be near the top. So we're plateauing, I think, aren't we? Yeah, I think you're quite right. I would definitely say above Dakota Johnson. Absolutely above her. Yep. I think, I'm seeing a run of actors here that I really respect. Emily Stone, Timothy Chalamet, Robert Downey Jr. I think he should be in there somewhere.
I think that's a good shout.
I think
that's
above
a very good
above
shout.
Robert Downey Jr. I know Sebastian doesn't have an Oscar, but I think he's done better projects post Endgame.
Yes, absolutely.
So perhaps...
Did you just slag off Oppenheimer? You can't do that.
Oh yeah, quite right. Yeah. The best picture of 2024. Let's maybe put him above Christopher Nolan or below.
Oh, I'd say below Christopher.
Below, okay. Above Emily Stone?
Above Emily Stone, yeah.
Okay. That seems fair. Sebastian Stan. And then what's our reasoning for this?
They're eating the cats. Is that what Donald Trump said?
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Turn that light off. Turn that big light off.
Sorry, this is a tangent. Can you do a Donald Trump impression? I used to do an excellent one back in like year 10, year 11 when he was relevant.
You must have an old TikTok. You've got to have an old TikTok where you're doing an impression.
I absolutely will, somewhere in the depths.
Post that on the main movie or not.
A lot of people have been out there saying a lot of different things, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because frankly, I think this movie it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It's a bit Robert De Niro.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's the same facial expression I'm pulling. How would Robert De Niro would be? What about Robert De Niro if he was president? Okay, so what you're saying is you're talking to me. You're talking to the U.S. president about
He's just doing a face, everyone. I'm aware that this is a podcast, but he is doing a face that looks like Robert De Niro.
The face, I think the face is stronger than the voice, which works incredibly poorly for the podcast. But guys, just know I've morphed into Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Is there anyone else we'd like to add? Oh, we said from a film that we saw, what was it, 2 weeks ago now? Adam Driver from Megalopolis. I think he deserves to go on this.
Yes.
Yes. So go back to the club.
Stalk the people that you kind of like.
I was baffled, right, when I've seen now clips of the film on TikTok and realised that the TikTok you made wasn't an exaggeration.
No.
And it genuinely is that batshit.
Yeah, but I think the moment that properly broke me is when they do that GCSE drama moment where he's sort of flailing his limbs around and there's dubstep music in the background and he's taking drugs. And then he's got the voiceover of him going like, I will not let time control me. I will not let time have dominion over me. And you're like, what? Just completely baffling. Really, really bad.
I just saw the clip where he takes the bandage off his head and all of a sudden there's 4 of him. Like,
oh, that bit scared me. Genuinely scared me. But the bit before then, I don't care if I spoil this for someone. The reason he has that bandage on his head is because a little boy comes up to him, and I forgot to do this in either of the TikToks that I did. But there's a line where he's in the car in this sort of grimy backstreet area of New Rome, and a boy runs up to him, asks him to sign this thing, and he's like, what's your name? What's your name? And he's like, Sam. He's like, I like the name Sam. It's to the point. and then the boy ruffles like the newspaper that he's getting him to sign, and then he has this kind of badass one-liner, I think, and then shoots him in the face. And like you think, oh my god, he's dead, and you're like, my god, maybe that's the end of the film, but no. And then cuts the next scene, and he's having this megalon material as a skin graft, and then and then at this point, it's really brutal. Yeah, it's literally like a rambling man, just oh god. He obviously has the bandage on. He walks into the house to go and I think intimidate someone. I can't even remember who. And he's just saying to himself like, no, like, okay. Then takes off his bandage and he's got like glowing, half his face is made of this mythical material. And you're like, what the actual hell is happening? So needless to say, he's at the top of the list. No,
yes, yeah.
Oh no, we can't. I actually will riot if we put him anywhere near the top. This is not a reflection.
Right at the bottom, right?
This is not a reflection on Adam Driver, who I do really like. But
he's been in some trash, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. If I could somehow guarantee that you get hit by a car and die. The droid stole a fighter. What else does Kylo Ren say? That's about it.
For the girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
He's got like a weird bubbly voice. I don't quite
love it. Yeah, it's the effect of the mask as well, isn't it? Show me again, grandfather, the power of the dark side.
It's quite good. I'm glad we can do an impression, because that was originally, I think, the point of this list, was that everyone we put on here, we have to be able to do an impression of. But...
Well, no, I mean, point to anyone on this list, I can do an impression of them, like Ayo Edebiri. Oh, to be sure. Hi, I'm Ayo Edebiri. It's easy. I can do anyone.
I knew it. I absolutely knew it. The second you said Ayo, I was like, he's going to do an Irish accent. Don't
Could have been problematic there.
Very.
Could have been problematic there, but thank God I did an Irish accent.
Yeah, right? Imagine bro pulling out a Jamaican one. Jesus.
Oh my God. Perish the thought. Right, no, back to serious stuff. Where's Adam Driver going on this crackhead list?
I'd say bye. Maybe because he's made of this Megatron material, he actually ascends the list and just exists in the ether.
He's on a higher plane of existence than even the clouds.
Yeah, like he just kind of exists in. He doesn't really have a place.
Maybe actually what you meant to say was descends. Maybe you meant to say descends the list, so actually he's below the bin.
He's actually below the trash can, yeah.
Let's put him there.
Perfect.
Adam Driver in brackets.
You can't get any lower. We didn't think you could get any lower than Jonathan Wass and Slimer and Jar Jar Binks, but lo and behold, Adam Driver as this man, Caesar from this monstrous film, has done that.
And we're back. Listeners, we actually got kicked off FaceTime, and I'm thinking that somewhere, somehow, this is Adam Driver's doing. I think he's got our numbers.
As he ascends the astral plane as this Megatron, whatever the hell.
I am Megatron.
There we go. That was episode 35. Thank you for listening.
36, hold tight.
Oh, God, 36. Jesus. My God. Doesn't time fly?
When you're having fun.
What are we reviewing next week? From what I'm aware, there's not a lot. Oh, I guess we'll have...
we can talk about... We go to the London Film Festival.
Yeah, tomorrow will be the episode. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go to the London Film Festival and get to see Piece by Piece.
Yes.
Which has an insane rating of mild sex and drug use for a Lego film, which is kind of mad.
And racism as well, I think.
Yeah, racism.
Crazy. Man, I've never been more
we'll be
intrigued.
talking about that on the next episode. But we're excited to go Sunday. It should be a fun time.
Absolutely. So if you do want to stay in the loop and see what we're up to this weekend at the London Film Festival, you can do so by going to our socials. Instagram and TikTok is both at Movie On Up.
And then if you want to email in, which we would love, please give us some thoughts on any of the films you've seen, any films that we're reviewing. Give us some suggestions. If you've seen a gem of a film recently, that kind of thing. You can email in hello@movieonup.com.
Absolutely. Send over your thoughts, your questions, your queries, your concerns, your money. That'd be grand. But Alfie, should we end as we always do with our favourite phrase?
Adam, if I don't see you through the week,
I'll see you through the window.
Thank you for listening, guys.